Good morning, y'all. It is a Saturday morning here in November. We've got some beautiful fall weather today, and I am actually going on a hike. I am over here at the Walls of Jericho. I'm at the Tennessee Trailhead parking area. It's about round trip an 8 to 9 mile hike from this trailhead. It's less visited. More people tend to use the Alabama side. So I like coming to the Tennessee side for that reason. It's been probably maybe a decade since I've been here last. I'm all alone. Don't worry, I'm protected, but I am going to have a great time today out here in the woods. Hopefully we can find some mushrooms. I can show you some caves. We are going to lose actually a little over 1,000 feet of elevation going down into the Walls of Jericho, and then we have to come back out. So I'm allowing myself plenty of time today. I do have a backpack with some food, flashlights, and some emergency supplies, but hopefully I'll be out of here by dark. So let's go enjoy this beautiful hike into the Walls of Jericho today. There is a really large parking area here for this trailhead. There's also another trail just across the street that's part of Bear Hollow Wildlife Management Area that you can do a hike there as well. But we're gonna head in right here on the Tennessee Trailhead and get some good hiking in today. Go ahead and pause your screen if you want to read all of that. So a lot of the reviews say that this trail is overgrown and there's a lot of downed trees. So I'm not quite sure what we'll get into today, but it should be pretty well marked. All right, so here's our first intersection, and we're going to continue on to the left. And it does say 4.3 miles one way, so a little over 8.5 miles today. And sure enough, here is our first downed tree on the trail. Now there are some caves down in the cove below. I'm going to try to check some of those out once I get down there. Some of them from the descriptions seem to have pretty large entrances, so we'll see. Starting to catch a glimpse of the cove out there. So one of the advantages of walking the Tennessee side trail is it's not as steep. Regardless which trail you take, the Alabama or the Tennessee, you're going to have to lose and gain that elevation. The Tennessee side just does it in a little bit longer of a hike, gaining it and losing it. But so far, the trail has been very well marked. And we are coming down on some more downed trees on the trail here. You can tell this one's been down for quite some time, all the rub marks on it from people's legs stepping over it. And we're starting to lose our elevation now as well. Beautiful, beautiful woods today. The leaves are falling. It's early November. Great day. There's a really, really large sandstone bluff up there. Looks like maybe a couple of little shelters might be up in there. So there are some horse trails out here as well, and that's actually what we're about to cross over right here is the horse trail. And then we're going to continue on right over here. Just a quick little jump across the road. So we've lost just a little bit of elevation here, and you can see that we are kind of walking on a bench now. We still got a little bit more elevation lost to go to get down to the bottom of the cove. Wow, check out this really cool rock that I just came across right here. Really, really interesting looking rock. I really wish y'all had smell-o-vision out there because these woods smell so good out here. Just something about being outdoors. All right, we're coming up on an intersection here. Up at the top where I split left, right would have been the Mill Creek Loop Trail. So this is where that trail ties in to the Walls of Jericho Trail. So let's see, 2.1 miles. So the caves that I wanted to check out are going to be down that way. We're going to keep going this way to the Walls of Jericho first, and we'll try to check that out on the way out. It's getting to be a little late in the season for wildflowers. Those are the first ones I've seen. In the springtime, I'm sure this place is covered up with them. We've had a very warm fall this year. We keep calling it our extended summer. It's the middle of November and it's probably 70 degrees out here with about 90% humidity, so it's pretty warm for a November. We've usually already had freezing temperatures by now. All right, so the trail over there just got a little squirrely. I wasn't expecting it to bring me back up a little bit. It took me down and then back up, but I feel like I'm headed back in the right direction. All right, we are coming up on some signage here. This is the boundary line. That's Tennessee. This is Alabama. This is where the two trails meet. So I hiked in on the Tennessee side. You could actually do a through hike if you had multiple people with you with vehicles. You could hike in either the Alabama or Tennessee side and walk out the other side. We are finally starting to get down here to the bottom, which means we've lost almost 1,000 feet of elevation. Really pretty tree over here. I remember seeing this last time I was out here over a decade ago, and it's still here. Look at the texture on that, really cool. So now that I'm down here in the bottom of this cove, I'm walking along the creek bed here. That's Hurricane Creek. It's pretty dry. We've been in a pretty severe drought here in the Tag region this summer. I don't expect to see any water when we get to the Walls of Jericho. So hopefully that might make it a little easier for us to explore around there though. So I just saw what I thought is a mushroom up on the hill, but then when I came over here to get closer to it, I found another one, an oyster mushroom. Check this out. These are oysters. These are very, very fresh. These are oyster mushrooms. I'm definitely going to be picking some of those. And I think I saw a lion's mane right up there. I'm going to go check it out too. Sweet. It is a lion's mane. So something's actually ate on it a little bit there, but this part's good, so I'm going to cut it off. That's the size, the piece right there I cut off. Now, if you're interested, the knife I'm using, this is actually a Havilon knife. It's a scalpel blade, great for mushroom hunting and deer hunting and fishing. So on this same log, there's a few more growing, little small pieces right there and right there. Now I'm going to pick a few of these oyster mushrooms. Another way you can tell these are oysters, they've got the gills on the bottom, but they also actually have a licorice smell to them. Got a little sidetracked there, but I got me some fresh mushrooms. I just even noticed there's some more right there on that tree. So maybe when I come out, if I haven't found any more, I might pick a few more as I come back here. This is also a camping area. There's a few fire rings over here, so you can backpack out here and overnight camp. There is a small spring emerging from the ground right here. It's just coming out from right under those rocks. Okay, so we are just now tying in with the trailhead from the Alabama side right here. And as expected, I'm starting to see a lot more people. So if you want a little bit more peaceful and quietness in the woods, definitely hike in the Tennessee side, because I'm going to start seeing a lot more people now. Now, this used to be an old log that was built by Boy Scouts that you crossed, and it got washed out many times by this creek, so they have since built a more permanent bridge getting across it. Now, this is a pretty tall bridge. It's probably about 4 feet tall. Now from here, it's about a half a mile further of a hike to get into the area that is known as the Walls of Jericho. We've got another creek crossing right here. They've built these bridges high to prevent them from being washed out. They've been washed out so many times in the past. So there is another campground right over here, and that's the way to the walls right there. But you can also come backpack over here, and wow, there's a really gigantic mushroom over here. Let's go check it out. Looks like some more oysters. Wow, that is some really nice oysters right there. Wow. Put my foot in there for scale. Look at all those. I am definitely going to pick some of these on the way out. Very, very fresh mushrooms right here. There's actually another loop that you can do here. The South Rim Trail over here kind of takes you up higher and then down into the Walls of Jericho. And this one is the lower route in. We're going to take this lower route right here. So the further we walk up into this little cove, the walls around me, the limestone walls are starting to get taller. So once we get all the way up in here, they're estimated to be about 200-foot tall bluffs. You can see the limestone walls over there on the other side of the creek. And then you can see them all up there. It's a very interesting rock along the trail here. So interestingly enough, we are crossing back into Tennessee. The Walls of Jericho is actually in Tennessee. We just crossed over that state boundary line, and we are approaching the area known as the Walls of Jericho. You can see the huge bluff over there, and then you've got the creek running down below, and then you've got all of this bluff too. It's interesting, there's all of these all over this rock. What would have caused that? Now, if the water was up, you'd probably get your feet wet going through all of this. We're trying to go up that way. So we've made it. It took me about 2.5 hours, maybe a little less, 2 hours and 15 minutes to get here. Now there is usually a lot of water that comes out of a cave right there. We'll go up there, and then up there is where the other waterfall is that you see a lot of pictures of, so we'll go check that out as well. So yeah, right there, a lot of water usually comes out. I'm gonna sit down and take a break though, get some water and eat something, and then we'll explore around this area. So there are actually quite a few people here. All these people hiked in on the Alabama side. I didn't pass anybody coming in on the Tennessee side. Get here and there's a horde. All right, we're gonna go up there now and go check out where the waterfall normally comes out. So I'm about to climb up there, just looking at the geology here. Look at the lines in that rock. I just climbed up that little wall right there. Just looking at the rocks here again. And then we're gonna go up that way. There's a couple of little holes right here. So normally there's a waterfall that comes off right there. But it's dry today. There's a bunch of water in that little pool there with some leaves making some tanning water. Let's see what we got here. All right, I'm gonna climb down in there. Okay, I just crawled or climbed down into where the falls normally come down, and it says the cave goes this way, so we're gonna go check it out. Huh. There's definitely no air that way. And if that's the way, that's low. That side's all filled with debris. That's why we wear a helmet. Oh man, that is nasty. There's a maggot. Oh man, that has to be dug out to get in there. I don't think I'm gonna fit. Man, that's skinny people passage. Lots of bugs. I'm definitely not gonna fit through that. That's skinny people passage. About 5 or 6 inches, maybe. I can see where it gets up and starts walking. But I'm clearly not gonna fit. Just to show y'all, that's my camera case. I'm not gonna fit through there. Oh well, we got some more caves to check out. Alright, so that's the area I just tried to check out. It's too low, it just barely qualifies as a cave here. But it's definitely where all the water goes when that water is coming down right here. Alright, we're going to start hiking back this way. We're going to go check out the other little cave over here, and then try to go find the other little caves along the creek on the hike out. So now we're going to go check out this hole over here. There is usually a lot of water coming out of here. A lot more than that is today. We're gonna get a light on, see if we can go in there. Wow, this cave actually goes for a little ways. Ooh, lots of bugs. Oh my goodness gracious, keep your mouth closed, Kelly. So many bugs, oh my god. Oh, it's insane how many bugs are in here. Oh, I just swallowed a bug. Had to turn the light off so they'd leave me alone. Wonder how much further this goes. Don't recommend solo caving, y'all. Wow, this keeps going. Look at those pretty colors. Take a picture. This passage is normally full of water. Pretty cool. Really, really cool cave. Cool rock. I'm not gonna keep going because I'm all by myself and I've got other objectives today, but pretty cool to come in here and check this out. There's a lot of really cool chert in here too. All these little chert balls everywhere. There and there. All along the ceiling here. Really cool. Oh, it's a little tight in here. Lots of bugs. Just spotted a cave salamander right there. All right, let's finish getting out of this cave and continuing on with my hike. Alrighty. So I just read the narrative for this cave that I was just in, and it says it only goes for about 200 feet before it gets too tight. So there you have it. I'm gonna start hiking out of here. We're gonna take an alternate route out, see if I can find some other caves to show y'all. All right, just one last look around this amphitheater / bowl area. Now, I've got a lot of followers who believe in this melted earth theory, and it's definitely an interesting theory. It's opened my eyes a little bit, a different way of looking at things. So for those of you who are watching, please feel free to comment and tell me what you think about what I've seen here today at the Walls of Jericho. Now, legend has it that in the 1700s, Davy Crockett actually used this area and hunted here, which is very plausible because his wife is actually buried just on the other side of the mountain from here, his first wife, Polly Crockett. This is a really cool wall right here. So now that I've gotten away from the Alabama trailhead, I have this place to myself again, and I'm gonna finish my hike out of here. I probably saw a couple of dozen people at the Walls of Jericho that came in from the Alabama side. Okay, I am about to leave the valley floor. My elevation is about 700 feet. I got to start making my way up there. I got to gain about 1,000 feet of elevation to get out of this cove. It's about 1 o'clock. I got about 4 hours till it gets dark. Should be plenty of time. The one negative about walking the Tennessee side is the trail is not walked a lot, so it's a little bit harder to follow. You've really got to pay attention to the trees and your markers. So I can see a marker over there, and that's the Tennessee-Alabama line that I crossed earlier. You just got to keep an eye out ahead on where you're going. Now, something else that I'm going to say about this trail, if you're not used to hiking, this would be a very difficult trail. I'm probably going to have done at least 9 miles by the time I get done here. For me, this is moderate because I'm used to this kind of stuff. But if you're not, I would definitely say it's difficult. Some things to bring obviously with you are some food, some snacks. I have some lights and other things in my pack. A hiking stick is also good to have. And we're just gonna cross back into Tennessee right here. Bye-bye, Alabama. So what do y'all think? Is that a Native American marker tree? Or is it a tree that just got bent over naturally? So I just ran into a couple, a fellow and a lady who are out here hiking, and they're the first people I've seen on the Tennessee side. They actually said they tried to go to the Alabama side and the parking lot was full, which I would believe it because I saw dozens of people when I was down there at the Walls of Jericho. But at the Tennessee trailhead this morning, I was the only car. So another reason to walk the Tennessee side. But again, you got to pay really close attention to the trail because it's not as traveled. Okay, I am back at this intersection, the Mill Creek Loop Trail. It says it's half a mile down to the Mill Creek Blowhole. Let's go check it out. Now this trail is a trail that's even less traveled, and it's marked with red. So I've made it down here, but there's really not a good way to finish getting all the way down there. It's kind of a drop-off ledge right through here. The caves are over that way, and because of the time, and it's going to get dark on me in a few hours, I got to go all the way back up that. So I'm going to start hiking out of here. I will have to come back and investigate this another day. There's another gigantic wall up there. This late in the day, I probably shouldn't even come down here. I got to go all the way back up this. Boy, I gave myself an ass kicker today. All right, as I started hiking out, I actually found a trail down here. So I thought I'd go ahead and poke on down here and come show this to y'all. It's pretty cool. So all of this water right here is coming out of this cave. All right there. This cave is blowing a ton of air. Let's go check it out. I think the narrative says it goes for about 200 feet. God, this is blowing a lot more air than what a 200-foot long cave does. Goes that way. There's some cave salamanders. And then it goes a lot of breakdown that way. There's a very strong stench in here of bat guano. So I'm alone. I don't advise caving alone. I'm just poking in this little hole here. I really need to get out of here and get back on the trail because it is going to start getting dark. Pretty cool. Lots and lots of cold air blowing out of this cave though. Definitely would be worth coming back and poking around. Way more air here than a 200-foot long cave. Lots and lots of breakdown. Seems that the air is coming from where the water is over there. Looks like a low crawl. Alright, let's get out of here. Get my legs boogieing. Back up this mountain. Just wanted to show y'all something really off the beaten path here at the Walls of Jericho. Alright, I gotta go. I still got 1,000 feet of mountain to climb to get up back to my truck. Well, it started raining out here, and honestly, I don't care. I'm so hot. The rain feels pretty good right now. I've probably got 2¼ miles hike back to the truck. And I estimate it'll take me about 1.5 hours, right at dark. I'm walking up right here. There's a trail sign there, and I'm gonna go up around that wall and then up this ravine back up to the main trail. So that's where I just was, at that Mill Creek blowhole. All right. Get moving on back to the truck. All right, we've got our last little push here. This is the horse trail that we crossed over earlier. I am just taking my time getting out of this cove. Whew, I am tired. Well, I guess I'm a little tired. I almost messed up right there. I should have turned and went up this way, and I started walking that way. Let's get back on track so we can get out of here. All right, I am almost near the end of the trail. The trail keeps going that way and then loops back around to the parking lot. But I can actually see my truck right there. So I'm just going to cut through the woods right there and cut some of the trail off because I'm pretty tired. We are officially off trail. That's okay. It's not the first time I've been off trail today. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed my trip out here into the Walls of Jericho and checking out some caves down in the cove below. A huge 1,000-foot elevation gain, hike down and then back up. I am exhausted, ready to go home. If you like my content, make sure you like and subscribe for more outdoor recreation in the heart of TAG, which is short for Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia.